Hello, it's Swami Pranava, and today I'm welcoming all the new people. We have a teacher training going on here in Dalat for yoga, and a lot of the students have joined us. And basically, my purpose in making these videos is to help Vietnamese people to learn English, but really it's appropriate for anyone wanting to learn foreign languages. I'm inspired to share things with you because I have been making great progress learning the Vietnamese language recently. And one of the main reasons that I've made such good progress is because is a teacher on YouTube. His name is Luca, and I always leave a link in the description box of my videos so you can see Luca's videos. But what's most impressive about Luca is he can explain how to learn languages. He knows many languages, but like I say, that's not the most impressive thing. The most impressive thing about him is he understands the process of learning and he can share it with everyone. And as he says, it's not having a talent that makes you successful in learning languages. It is simply applying yourself, studying every day, spending some time with it, but you don't have to spend a huge amount of time, but you do need a system. And so he provides a system. And so I want to share some of the ideas from his system, but he also has courses. So I really recommend, especially if you're an English speaker, take his courses. Right? Because they have much more systematic instruction. What I'm doing here is I'm assuming there are many people who perhaps now don't have time to commit to a course and they just want to learn a little bit more about how they can acquire a foreign language in a simple way, and especially people who don't speak English fluently might have trouble understanding his courses, and he does have some subtitles, but I don't think he has Vietnamese yet. Now, of course, with my videos, I speak in English, but you can use Language Reactor, the Chrome browser extension, and you can get subtitles in both English and in Vietnamese, so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, and so in this video, I'm giving you just a little bit of an overview for Luca's first course, which is called Bidirectional Translation. And it simply means that you translate from the target language. You could take only one sentence, that would be fine to begin with. And then you can translate it to your native language. So you take a sentence in English, translate it to Vietnamese, and then you come back sometime later, and you try to translate from Vietnamese back to English. Now, of course, translating from English to Vietnamese for a Vietnamese person is not as difficult as translating from Vietnamese to English. So you can do many other activities to get more familiar with the English version. And really that's the objective here, to learn in a way that is normal for your brain. Like when you were a child, you learned your native language in a natural way. You did not try to study it like a subject. My feeling is if you try to study a language like a subject, it may give you some knowledge that you will use later, but it won't help you to actually start using the language. And many times you will just get frustrated and say, I've been studying a lot, I still can't use the language after years of studying, so you might just give up your effort. But if you learn in a more natural way, and you also use your skills that you have as an adult because you already know your native language, then you can make a lot of progress. And so Luca uses this idea, learn in a natural way, learn from real content right from the beginning, interesting stories and so on, but also learn like an adult. Use your skills of reading and listening to your native language to support the learning. Another thing that his method uses for support is choose something that is already fairly comprehensible, like 70%. You understand it. You know many of the words already. You know the little bit of the grammar, the word order. You can understand it. 70% or 50%, it doesn't really matter because you're going to read it in your native language anyway. Okay, so that's 100% understanding. But you use all of these as a support. You use your native language as a support, and you use the words that you do know as a support, and then you will learn things that you haven't encountered yet. But you'll learn it naturally, it will be fun. Okay, so in the next video, I'll go a little bit more deeply into the bidirectional translation. And like I say, if you want to really know it well, take the course with Luca Lampariello. And it's very reasonable cost for the course. He sends you 11 lessons, and they each have many videos that go into great detail. And it was fascinating to me, especially one more thing. He talked about learning tonal languages. And I thought he's an Italian person. He's learned many European languages. But it turns out he's also learned Mandarin Chinese. And when he learned Chinese, he said something very interesting. He said, I wasn't about to try to memorize the tone on every syllable, even though Chinese uses tones. He said, I just got the overall tonal pattern, and that's something that your brain can deal with. You know, memorizing thousands of tones on syllables and then trying to remember what the tone is when you're in a conversation with someone, as he said, is not the most effective way to learn a tonal language. So he gives you a method for learning tonal languages based on the overall tonal pattern of a phrase, which is something your brain remembers. And he says, Michael Jackson, the great singer from America, said, I've forgotten many things in my life, but I never forget a melody. See, because the mind has that capacity to very easily remember the tonal pattern, like a child learns. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.